Throughout this video series, we've been trying to show you the fundamental skills that it takes to be comfortable and confident outdoors. The logical conclusion of that is being able to come into an environment that's uncomfortable, like the winter, and being able to enjoy it. We're going to show you how to do that. The first component of being comfortable outdoors is obviously your clothing. To hike in here, because I'm active and because I'm building up body temperature, I'm wearing a lightweight merino base layer, top and bottom. I've got a Polartec Alpha mid layer. This is super breathable and does not take on any water. And I've got a soft shell. Because these conditions are below freezing, a soft shell is preferable to a hard shell. Again, a soft shell is water resistant, a hard shell is waterproof. Soft shell breathes better, so any moisture, any heat that I build up here hiking in is free to vent out. This still blocks the wind. On the bottom, again, a soft shell pant, and then a nice pair of insulated boots because snow is cold. Now that I'm done hiking, I'm static and my body temperature is going to drop. So I need more insulation. I've got my high loft puffy jacket. Anytime I stop, I'm going to be warm. Right? I wear a really light pair of just fleece gloves during the day. These are simple and cheap. But in camp at night, obviously it gets colder. And so I like to bring a nice, really heavy duty, really warm pair of winter gloves for that. Where you decide to set up your camp is doubly important in winter. You lose 3.3 degrees Fahrenheit for every 1,000 feet in elevation that you gain. So in general, you want to camp lower down. But cold air settles into valleys and depressions at night. So you want to camp low, but you don't want to camp at the bottom. Try to find a bench or a saddle or something like that that's down in a valley, but isn't the lowest point. And so you can see here, we found a nice piece of level ground that's sheltered from the wind by these trees and by that hill, but the valley continues to fall below us. So as the cold air comes off the mountains at night, it's going to go lower than where we are and settle lower than where we are. I am cozy right now. Let me show you why. The first problem with camping in the winter, the cold ground and the cold snow are literally sucking the heat out of my body. So the biggest challenge with camping in winter is to prevent that from happening. I've got a multi-layered approach here. First, I have a waterproof, lightly insulated tent floor. Prevent things from getting wet in here and provide a little insulation for Wiley to sleep on tonight. And then when I'm changing or doing other things in the tent, I'm not laying on the cold snow, I'm laying on a little bit of insulation. It's really nice. Next, I have your standard, cheap, closed cell foam sleeping pad. This just here serves as like a block for any of the cold temperature reaching my sleeping pad. And I'm not naming a lot of these products because I'm just trying to give you some category guides and what to look for, but this product I am going to name because this is the best winter sleeping pad on the market. This is the Thermarest NeoAir Xtherm. It has an R value of 5.7. We're going to get to that. It's super light. It's super comfortable. It's really the only primary sleeping pad you should consider for winter camping. And to protect me from the actual cold temperatures is this really nice, super high fill power. We're getting to that. 0 degree down sleeping bag. And the trick with mummy bags, and you probably know this, is to really minimize the amount of area of your body that's exposed to the air. But it's really important, especially in sub-zero conditions, to keep your mouth and nose outside of the bag so that all the condensation that you are ventilating is leaving the sleeping bag and not getting into the system and eliminating its ability to insulate. As you can see, I've hung up my clothes to dry. I've put on a dedicated pair of wool socks that I keep just for sleeping so they stay dry during the day and go on dry when I go to bed. And then this dedicated fleece base layer setup that is my foundation of warmth and comfort inside this sleeping bag. It is super important for your warmth and happiness and just general comfort in sub-freezing conditions to just be out here and just be as dry as possible. Come here, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. And most importantly, don't forget your tent heater. The next important definition is R value, and you'll see that applied to sleeping pads. It's the amount of insulation the sleeping pad provides. The higher the number, the better. When you see an advertised temperature for a sleeping bag, that is calculated using a 4.0 R value sleeping pad. So unless you're coming out here with a 4.0 R value sleeping pad, your sleeping bag is not going to work. The last important definition is fill power. Fill power applies to sleeping bags, jackets, anything filled with down. It is the number of cubic inches that 1 ounce of the down material in question can loft into. Fill power is not an indication of warmth, it is an indication of packability. You get warmth from trapped airspace, so the thicker and the loftier the sleeping bag or jacket is, the warmer it is. Nothing to do with fill power. We also need to talk about sleeping bag temperature ratings. Thermarest is a really good brand because they give us 3 temperatures for all of their bags: comfort range, transition range, and risk range. Comfort range is do nothing else, hop in this bag, you'll be toasty. For this bag, that's 14 degrees. Transition range is where you really need to think carefully about where you set up camp, what your tent does, the whole system of camping, and then we can be comfortable down to 0 degrees. There's also risk range, which is the temperature that you will probably survive if you're in the bag, but you are not going to have a pleasant night. And for this bag, that's minus 40. I would not use this bag in minus 40 conditions. That is an extreme worst case scenario survival situation, which we are not doing. And bear in mind that all 3 of these temperatures are arrived at using a 4.0 R value sleeping pad. Your tent is also super important when it comes to figuring out how comfortable you're going to sleep at night. As you can see with this sling fin portal, I am not using a mountaineering tent. I am not using a single wall design. But for most winter camping below the tree line, you really want to maximize your breathability because it helps, again, move moisture out of all of our systems while we sleep. And so I like, just like this tent demonstrates, a full mesh body with a to-the-ground rainfly. The rainfly fully blocks the wind, makes this a nice, warm, cozy tent to sleep in, and the full mesh body combines with that rainfly and that really good ventilation to just move moisture out of here. I will not wake up tomorrow morning with dripping water all over the inside of this. My clothes will dry out as I sleep. My sleeping bag will stay dry. I will be cozy in here. And the best thing about winter camping, the cocktails.